Hi, everybody. Holly McCormick here again, coming to you live from Facebook. I just wanted to talk about a few things first. First, let me say Happy Valentine's Day. If you haven't gotten your sweetheart something, go out and do it now because you still have till midnight. And I hope you're getting to spend time with your loved ones. So please make sure you tell the people that you love them. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit about our employee experience survey. If you haven't taken it yet, I encourage you to do so soon because it ends tonight. We want to make sure everybody gets their survey done. We need your feedback. I last checked and we were still in the 50 percentile of those folks that have participated thus far. I'd like to see that up near 65% if possible. The more data that we get, because it is an anonymous survey, the more data that we get, the more we're able to actually take action from it. So as you know, we made some changes as a result of the survey from last year. So I want to make sure that we get information this year so that we can continue to improve ourselves as a company. You know, we're going to hit our 90th anniversary in July, which is really exciting. And you don't remain a leader in the industry without change and being adaptable and being a thought leader and trying to be ahead. We have to remain competitive to stay in this space. So part of that comes from the feedback that we get from you as employees. So please make sure that you take the survey. And again, as I said, it ends tonight. So get that done. If you did not receive the email link to take the survey, then please shoot me an email and let me know, and I can get it sent for you this evening. If you were hired after December 31st, you've not received a survey. We needed a cutoff date to send the data to the company. So anybody hired after 12/31 did not receive a survey. So wanted to throw that out there too. But we're going to do these surveys every year now. So what we're going to get to do is benchmark against ourselves and see how we're getting better in this employee engagement space. So this is your time. This is your opportunity to give us feedback and let us know. One of the things that came out of the feedback we got in this survey was this Facebook Live feed. So you wanted an opportunity to be able to communicate back with us. So that's why we're here coming to you live today. So if you have questions or comments or would like to ask any questions to me, I am here for the next few minutes. So please add your questions in the chat. Matt will read them out to me as they come in. What else do I want to talk to you about today? Driver referral program. Remember, if you are not a manager of Groendyke, but you are another driver or another employee, you have the ability to refer your friends and family to Groendyke to be a driver, and then there's a little extra cash in it for you. So we wanted to remind you about the driver referral program. So please make sure that you are sending your friends and family to apply for Groendyke. Matt, any questions yet?
No questions yet, but we did have a lot of people come on since you started.
Oh, should I start
might
maybe
go
just a
back
quick
over.
recap? Okay, so quick recap. Survey closes this afternoon or late tonight. I think maybe it might go until 9 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, but let me just say you need to get it done today. We want to make sure we get participation up. Your feedback is important. We're paying this other company to gather the feedback anonymously, so please make sure you take the time to do that. We want to hear from you. We want to be able to make changes based on the feedback that you give to us. And we've made a lot of changes recently. Change isn't always easy. And so I think it's important to remember change is one of our core values. And we have to change in order to stay adaptable, competitive. And so we want to hear from you to see how it's going and see what you think about the changes that we've made thus far. Maybe we need to course correct. Maybe things are going great. I find it hard to believe that everybody would think everything's perfect in a world of utopia because that's just not reality. But take the time to take the survey and give us your feedback. It's really important to us. Again, that closes tonight, so make sure you get that done. I also talked about the driver referral program if you were just coming on, and just about all things around change. And I wished everyone a happy Valentine's Day. So.
We are still questionless.
Still questionless? Come on, people. Is there not one question? Maybe you want to ask me about what my husband got me for Valentine's Day. I'm not going to tell anyone. Just kidding. I got a card. He was really sweet. He had to leave on business today, so it was kind of one of those last minutes. And the Super Bowl last night, that was awesome. What a great game. My team didn't win, but that's okay. But it was fun to watch. And so with the Super Bowl going on and him leaving for work for a business trip, honestly, I forgot about it until I turned on the news and they said, Happy Valentine's Day. And I was like, oh, crap. Happy Valentine's Day, honey. And then he left early and went on his way. And then I go to make myself a cup of coffee and he left me a card there. It was very sweet. So you need to do something for your sweethearts as well. So make sure you do. And Michael, if you're watching, I love you.
Joe Hedger wants to know if it was a Star Wars card.
Oh, Joe, great question. It was not a Star Wars card. It was much more, romantic with hearts and roses and, true to fashion. But I did get a little Star Wars trinket. So, of course. Any other questions coming in, Matt?
Nick Lacey would like to know, will the Denver hiring event still be happening?
That's right. So we've had to cancel the Denver hiring event. So you've probably seen some of our media on Facebook about the Denver hiring event. Due to unforeseen circumstances, we're going to have to go ahead and cancel that event. If you are interested in popping by the terminal, you're more than welcome to still do that. Or if you'd like to apply, you can go to Groendyke.com and apply for jobs there. So we are taking applications, but we're just going to cancel the hiring event because we've got too many people floating around in different areas, and we couldn't get enough people in that market to adequately hold a hiring event. So. But let's see. So Denver is hiring, and pretty much all of our terminals have openings. So if you're interested, you're a driver with a CDL Class A, you need a taker and hazmat endorsement, I encourage you to apply for Groendyke. And if there's any candidates out there that have questions about what it's like to work for Groendyke, feel free to throw them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer those for you. If we don't get to your questions in the chat today, maybe you're not able to be on Facebook right now or you're watching this later, feel free to go ahead and add a comment. We'll be monitoring those comments later, even after the Facebook Live is over, and we can be sure and get back to you soon. So.
Let's see.
I hope you're all enjoying my Valentine backgrounds today.
We've got a couple of people who are curious about when we had to suspend the 401k in 2020.
Back in 2020, yes.
Wanting to know if there's any chance that people will get that, we'll get that uncut, as it were.
Okay, so I'm not sure I entirely understand the question, but let me sort of break it down about what and why we did that and what we've done since then. So when the pandemic first kicked off and our revenues plummeted, we really didn't know what we were going to be able to do to remain solvent. And by solvent, I mean actually getting you your paychecks. So we were very unclear about what we should do as a company. One of the ways that we could preserve cash at the time was to suspend, not completely stop, but to suspend the company contributions coming from to the 401k. So for a period of time within 2020, it was just a few months, we did suspend the 401k contribution from the company side. Now, that being said, as we all know, the market has done very, very well over the last few years. So we encouraged everyone to keep their money within the 401k. And those of you that did know that it's done very, very well for you. So a few months later, once we realized that we would be able to maintain a level of profitability that would allow us to continue to make payroll, to continue to do the enhancements that we do, then we reinstated the company match. Also, at the end of the year, anybody that had an open account at the time received a distribution at the end of the year. So I encourage you to go back and look at that. It wouldn't be exactly what you would have been expecting during that time frame, but it was a little bit extra that we threw in your 401ks there at the end of 2020. So I encourage you to go back and look at that if you did not notice. So everything's back to normal. We're back to company contribution on 401k. And so if you're not contributing to your 401k, you're leaving money on the table because Groendyke matches up to 5%. So make sure that you're getting your money in there so that Groendyke can match it. And it's just extra money for you when you get ready to retire.
We do have one more question.
Sure.
Basically, what are we doing to try to retain drivers? And then this person says, it's Jay Metcalf.
Okay.
Saying paying weekly and more paid time off for drivers would go a long way.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Mr. Metcalf. And I believe we've exchanged some emails about this recently. But yes, so retention is a really big part of what we're looking at. And to be quite honest, this survey that I've been talking about, the employee experience survey, is going to be one of the things that we use to make sure that we're doing things that are important to our employees. One of those is vacation and paid time off. And we're revamping that now. We have a system that was put in place, as you know, many, many years ago. Again, that whole idea around adaptability and being thinking about how ways that we can change. One of those is being more competitive in the market when it comes to paid time off. So I'm working on a plan now. My team and we've got to get it over to the analytics group to take a look at that. And then hopefully we'll be rolling out something early this spring. So you'll hear more on that. But to your point, Jason, that's exactly what we were trying to do is increase the amount of time off that we all receive as employees here at Groendyke. Other things we're doing in the retention market. I don't know that weekly pay is something that we're considering at this time. I do know that we constantly monitor competitive market wages within each location where our terminals are at. Some changes have been made. Most drivers received a pretty significant pay increase last year. So I encourage you to look at those W-2 numbers from 2020 to 2021 and look at the difference in those. Of course, at any time, if you have questions about this, I encourage you to call the Talent Office. We can go pull your W-2s for you if you've lost track of those or need those. I know it's coming up to be tax time, so we'll all be looking for those from 2021. All that's available to you at your fingertips in Workday as well. So make sure you're signing into Workday. And that's also the way that we request time off. So make sure you stay in contact with your username and password for Workday. So yeah, more feedback about what you think we could do better at Groendyke. That's what the survey's for. And hopefully that helps us retain more employees. So great question. Thanks.
We have a question from Taylor Evan asking when upper management is going to start visiting terminals again.
So this is already happening with some of our folks. As you all know, we just recently did an asset purchase of Georgia Tank Lines. And so we got a few of those senior folks to go over to Atlanta to meet those new drivers over there. So welcome everybody from Atlanta. It depends on which department or what the purpose or need is. So I would imagine coming up in the fall, you'll definitely see some folks coming for Driver Appreciation Week. It just depends on the time of year and what those other senior leaders have going on. I know I'm going to be in Tampa in a few weeks for a concert. I wish it was a concert. It is a conference, but I'll be in the Tampa area. So I plan to probably just swing by the terminal and say hello. A lot of times when we go to terminals, though, we miss seeing drivers because you guys are working, right? So, we're happy to take phone calls or emails or anything, but certainly more and more travel has been picking back up since the cases of coronavirus have gone down. I will tell you, we still need to keep up our hygiene protocols. We're still kind of in that cold and flu season, but it looks like COVID-19 may be a little bit less due to the contagion that was the Omicron variant. So I don't pretend to be a medical professional or a professional from the CDC, but I do read a lot. And that's what I've been reading, is that this will become more of a seasonal type virus, much like the flu. So that's been part of the reason too that travel's been halted, but you'll be seeing more and more folks from the corporate office in the field. If you have suggestions of where you'd like to see us, I'd be more than happy to entertain those too. So shoot me an email and say, hey, come see me in whatever terminal. Happy to come see you. Anything else, Matt?
That appears to be everything.
Well, those were really good questions. So I'm just going to recap real quick again. Take your survey. It's going to end tonight, so make sure you do that. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email or give me a call in my office. If I'm there, I'll answer. And if you have any suggestions for us, you remember your good to great form is electronic on your mobile app. So please make sure that you fill that out and let us know what you're thinking. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, happy Valentine's Day.